Hey, wife.
Hi, husband.
So, how you want to start this thing?
I don't know.
Maybe we could talk about how you slid in my DMs.
Oh, God. Babe, don't do that.
No?
No, seriously. No, for real. You can't
Sorry,
do
it
that.
didn't happen that way.
No, I did not slide in your DM.
No, but you did go in your phone and you hit me up.
Okay.
And this is what opened up us communicating.
Why did I hit you up, Aaron?
It was all business.
Okay.
All business, no fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought there was an opening for me at that point, for me to find my way. So she was my crush. I low-key never had a crush a day in my life. But for some reason, there was something about Quianna over the past few years. I grew a liking to her, and I kept it cordial while liking and randomly commenting, but I wasn't on her
Radar?
She didn't see me. She didn't know me. Apparently, she didn't even know who
And
she
don't
was
say it
texting
like
when
that.
she
don't say it like
DM'd
that.
me.
Okay, but don't say it like that. Like, don't.
Okay, but how
No,
can you
I
say
did
this?
not. I did not.
You did not know me.
I did not know
No,
you.
anything of me.
No, anything of you.
Yeah, you was just doing someone a favor by hitting me up on Instagram. Like, yo, listen, someone's looking for some training and okay, how did you know this
That's
person? I'm like, and so that led me to take a risk and reach back out to you for us to sit down and talk on my podcast, which was unbeknownst to me. The first day I met you, you were everything and more what I thought you would be.
Okay. Can you talk about that?
Well, I mean,
Talk about that.
first of all, what was
You
your
had a whole
experience?
conversation
I
about
hit
that,
you up. I hit you up at the time. The moment I was hitting you up, someone was saying your name over the phone while a friend was near.
Okay.
So I was on the phone. I was with Greg, which is my podcast partner, my bro. We were trying to figure out who we can get on the show, and we were just running through people. And I was like, "Yo, listen, I think this young lady that I've been, following for a long time, I think she would be a great guest." As I'm saying this to Greg, and he's like, "Yo, just reach out to her." I'm like, in my head, like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna do that.
Right.
As I'm saying that, and I'm about to reach out to you, as I'm DMing you, Body,
Right there.
yeah, bro, he says your name. Yo, listen, I'm coming up top, because he's down, he's in VA or something. And he said, I'm coming up top for this event. My sister's hosting. And he literally says your name, my sis Quianna. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm literally DMing her right now, bro. Like, I was like, yo, tell your mans I'm DMing her right now, because I didn't know Body. I don't know who. He was just on the phone over a speaker while I'm in the car. And I mean, this is a long-winded start, but this is exactly why I feel like everything that happened in our relationship from the very moment that I was reaching out to her to be on the show, it was almost like God like hinting at us being covered, being intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Because ultimately, that's what happened.
It is, but like this
You
is
didn't-
not.
okay,
this is
you might
unbeknownst
not-
to me and clearly unbeknownst
Right,
to you.
but you might, well, definitely clear to me.
So-
It was not clear to me. But you didn't know then.
Nah.
But you do know now.
Yeah, but that took some time too. Even though it caught.
Why? I feel like in
Sometime-
the beginning we knew. Like it was like a, not the.
The knowing, or just like flowing part was known. Flowing part was known. Knowing part came like when we started. See, I'm
Right, so
dragging
also-
it
no,
it's
wait.
when
Right,
we met each other's parents. That's when we was like, nah, God's doing too much right
It's
now.
like, wait,
yeah, because it was a
hold
lot.
on.
It was a lot so fast. So hold on. So I meet you.
Right.
We do a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Greg is
And I
like,
was
yo,
late.
compose yourself, bro.
I was late.
Because I was like, yo, I'm about to meet, I'm about to have a Zoom. Mind you, I'm not this type of dude, so I really
Not too
am.
cool
No, I'm
to
not.
like
I'm too cool
somebody.
for school.
Okay.
That's right. However, I did
humbled
confess
you.
my love to my man's, and he would tell you, he was like, yo, listen, I got a crush on old girl, but it's not like your average crush. It wasn't like lustful. It was deeper than that. It was like, I really liked you, hard body. I liked you for real. But I didn't know who you were. I just knew of you. I didn't pay too much attention to you. You just had a good spirit, a good light about you. So that's why I was drawn to you. And
also people like DM'd me.
Yeah, okay, that's another. All right, so fine. All of my friends would DM. All of my friends would DM you to me, saying I should shoot my shot, and I would always tell them I'm not shooting my shot via Instagram. It's corny. We don't do that. So.
What else you say?
I said to one of my friends, I'm gonna have to start reading my Bible to talk to this chick. So, which was true.
You better see the light on this.
Which
this
is true.
So,
where we at? Cause now
the podcast. So we had the Zoom.
Yeah, we had the Zoom, which was cool.
Greg told you to compose yourself.
I did.
Okay.
That's you. You was in it. Yeah, I did. Right. You did too.
Bro, what the
heck? You met your husband that day, so but you didn't know what she was doing.
No, I did. First of all, come on, don't play like that.
So
I was very chill and like myself and
whatever. Yeah, you were.
I was literally at work. I had just finished clients and I jumped on. I was apologetic because I was not super late. I was a couple minutes late.
So one of my expectations of doing the podcast with her was a couple of things, like because she has her situation established and. You know, she's low key somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I thought to myself, I was like,
child of God.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So I'm thinking like, okay, so what's your stipulations? What do you want?
Yeah,
how much do we have to pay you? What did you say? Because I did ask that question.
I think you did. Did you?
I definitely did.
I don't know if you asked. I don't know if you that professional.
Super.
I'm kidding.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
okay,
God.
yeah, because we did a Zoom meeting.
Oh my God.
We did everything. We did all things by the book. So she was like, nah, I'll be happy to do this. No problem.
I just wanted a meeting to like learn.
She wanted to make sure we wasn't
legit.
Some bozos trying to just talk about sex and whatever like everybody else does. Nah. Which I understood. So we ended up meeting, but that would have been done anyway. But we ended up meeting that Saturday. And
so that was a Wednesday.
That was a Wednesday.
And then this is a Saturday.
This is a Saturday. There's a reason why we're giving you these kind of dates and stuff like that. So on Saturday, she comes on my podcast. She falls in love.
Excuse me?
She doesn't know this yet.
Aaron, why are you lying to the people? What?
All right, no. So here's what happened. We had a great show. I think you need to watch it, by the way,
to get awesome.
Context of all the stuff that I'm discussing with you, because I learned about her that day and I understood who she was, what she walked through, and where she was coming from. And I kind of low-key pressed her about who she is looking for and what she's willing to do. And so just watch the episode. It's on my YouTube. If you need more information, you'll get it from us. Just reach out to us. So watch the episode. You'll get context on that. But after the episode...
It was a whole setup.
I don't do setups.
It was a setup.
It's called flow.
It was a setup.
It was flow.
Babe, that was
what was the setup? What was the
Okay, so you and Greg already knew what the deal was, right?
So you're saying we do this with every guest?
It was a setup. No, me in particular, because you liked me. Hello. All right. No. So you guys already had the conversation regarding what's gonna happen afterwards, but I set y'all up. Like it was like an alley-oop. Cause like
you
my
caught
stomach.
It and dunked it?
What? Y'all caught it and dunked it.
Oh yeah,
like,
you
what?
right. Okay.
Because I was hungry, my stomach was growling. I'm like, did you hear that? This is all on the podcast, and I'm like, wait, did you hear that? You're like, what? I'm like, my stomach's growling. You're like, oh, you hungry? And I'm like, starving. You're like, I got you. All right, but in my head, I'm so cool and down to earth. I'm like, all right, we're about to go eat afterwards. Like it's all good. This was you and Greg.
Yeah, took
not
you
like
out to eat.
No.
On a date.
Oh my God. Do you wanna call that a date?
The reason why it was a date.
The reason why it wasn't.
There's two reasons why. No, because babe, you ever did that with somebody you was just eating after work with?
Yes.
You closed down restaurants with somebody?
Babe, okay.
As handsome as myself.
Like, the people gonna think you're a jerk.
I'm not all the time. But no, for real, no. For real, it was a date. You ain't. I feel like it was a date.
We just talked about why this wasn't a date.
Right. Why does it feel like I met you and I felt like?
Date, then you definitely cheated.
All right, so it wasn't a date.
Exactly.
It wasn't a date.
Take it back.
Here's the reason why
it
wasn't a date. So we went out after the podcast, and when I tell you we had a great time.
Yeah. Okay, for real. We did have a really good time.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not
they
a
had
bad
the tap.
date.
Nah, you were a good date. It was very nice. It was very cool. But, like, still in my... Okay, so one thing I did say. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go back first. Because, remember, my mindset, like, with going to your... Like, coming to your podcast was not to meet anyone, to date anyone. It was not that. I had just had the conversation with my best friend. Like, it's going to be, like, a hot girl summer. My hot girls.
Yeah, your version of whatever that looks like.
Brunch, cute, like girls' night, like whatever, right? I don't want to date. I want to just chill. So, fast forward to meeting you. I said, like, when we were at dinner, I'm sitting there and I'm like, could this be my husband? But it was like one thought and it went away.
That's
like,
all
that was it.
Is one thought. Because I definitely.
No, that was it though. Like literally, and I you know, because I had just walked out of like whatever, it was like, no, like, Quianna, chill. Don't even. And it was like, okay, I could be cool. I'm cool. And I was cool with you. And that was it.
Well, check this out. Remember you were on the podcast. I sat you down. So at dinner, I didn't think I wanted to date her after our podcast because she said she had just gotten divorced. But when we sat down, she walked me through what that was.
4 years.
She was sitting and waiting for her divorce papers.
Yeah. For
basically
4 years.
Separated for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And then a week before she meets me,
I get my divorce papers a week before I met you.
Yeah, so
the 23rd of February, I got my divorce papers, and the 1st is when we had the meeting, and then the 4th is when we had the podcast.
And not our first date.
No,
first
that was
encounter.
not.
All right, so here's why it can't be our first date.
Ladies, hello.
Because I had a lot of things to take care of after I met her.
It was one little thing.
Well, it was one little thing. Anyway, so here's the thing.
God bless everybody, but listen.
I will say this: when you think you meet the one, and this is just on me, and I've been single long enough, in relationships long enough. I personally believe when you think you met the one as a man, just don't deal with nobody else, and just lock all the way in with the one you really like, you really want to figure it out with. Because what I had to do was 2 things. I didn't know I was walking into a relationship that would require us to wait. Yeah. Which was a little scary to think about.
Wait for what?
Wait to be intimate.
Okay.
Be intimate sexually. Yes. So we decided, this is date 2 when we talked about it, but I still didn't know. But I made the decision, and I came out of a situation where I was freely doing whatever. Yeah. And I had to cut so much of that. I had to cut that off and random things that were lingering. Like when I say lingering, I mean like, you talking to a shorty and you baiting it. Like you just waiting, you trying to make it happen. I had to cut all that off. And honestly, it's weird because I decided to do that right before I took you on our first date. And I think I had one more person. Date? The first date when I asked you out, as opposed to us going out because you were hungry. No, she asked me out on the podcast.
I was so starving. Shut up. Go ahead. Finish with your story.
So, I had to cut everything off, and I knew, like, my heart was super into the decision because when I cut everybody off, like it was almost like I clinged to Quianna, like the idea of what we were gonna build, how we were gonna relate, how I was gonna be vulnerable. Like so much of that was able to actually happen, and it was because I wasn't chilling and dating and figuring it out in other places. And that's just me. I don't know what she was doing. I have no idea what she was doing. Not saying that I did, like she was or was not doing stuff, but I made that decision before I met you for that first date because of me.
But I wasn't.
I know you wasn't, but like that's because I found out. But I made that decision because I was really like, I can't go into talking to this girl with all this other stuff. I just felt, and I understood it to be God making me move a certain way later on, but I was obedient because I was aligned with him.
It was. And when you know, you had to feel it.
Yeah.
You kind of like. nudged you a little bit.
Yeah, I knew.
And
I
you
knew.
obeyed.
I saw her as a blessing. I saw her as something that I didn't want to. How do I put this? Like, if you know you could get next to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the privilege to kind of like see what that looks like, I didn't want to play around with it. I didn't want to play around with nothing.
And I think that goes for me too. Although I didn't have anything to like dead or anything. I didn't have no other situations. But I felt like when we met, and not even when we met, not the podcast, maybe the first date, I was like, this could be something.
First date, the second date, first date.
The
When I asked you out, when I hit you up, was like, yo, Ma, what you doing?
Ew. And I would have said no, because you said
no. I was super cordial.
No, you were
Here's
very
exactly
chill.
what
You were
happened. Here's what
very
really
chill,
happened. She actually almost shut me down.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Let's.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's very
crazy.
important. Wait, that's a topic that we can sit on for a minute because.
Fine. Okay. So here's what happened on the podcast. I told her I needed to be in my isolation phase. Like, I needed to isolate myself from everybody and just kind of like lock in on who I need to be, fix my character, adjust my life and my financial side, get my careers and businesses in order. Just everything needs to be like locked in on. And honestly, just being outside doesn't really help. It wasn't helping.
Right.
So I told her this on the podcast. It was very clear. I was very, very honest and transparent about it. But I hit her up on Monday, asking to take her out on Tuesday.
No.
This is
You hit me up on Tuesday.
Oh wow! I took her out the day I asked her out. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because we were working.
No, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Monday we didn't work. Monday
I hit you up. She was
baby.
She was like,
baby.
"What you doing right now?" I'm joking. I'm so joking. But it low key was like that. It was low key like that.
Blowing mine.
All right. So what happened?
Okay. First of all, you didn't speak to me Monday because you had to clear the air
right,
with all of that stuff,
stuff.
all of that stuff, right? Which I highly respect, and I thank you because I don't want mess and all of that,
you ain't
right?
getting no mess.
No
mess.
So anyway, Tuesday you hit me up.
Tuesday.
First of all, I'm like, why? You hit me up on Monday. Like, we spoke on we spoke on Sunday.
I was taking care of some stuff.
Yeah, you was taking care. Whatever. Anyway, so you did, and thank you. Tuesday you hit me up and you were like you wanted to go on a date or whatever, but then you also mentioned about God putting you in isolation. And
you checked me. You was like, listen, I don't want to be.
I'm not coming between you and God and your isolation. Like that's
actually,
where it would mess up.
Was that the first thing you said, or did you say I don't really know if I should? Because I knew you had space. You had space that weekend.
Yeah, but no, the isolation was first.
That was first.
And then it was like, you know.
Then you hit me with another block.
I should probably
maybe we should wait until after my
experience
ministry.
here, because I'm like, I need to be focused.
Because this was your second one at this
time.
time.
Men will, y'all distract us sometimes. And I'm not even trying, I'm like.
So I told you, I said something to you after you mentioned my isolation. I said.
Oh, and then this is where he tried to be smooth with it. I mean, it was cute, but go ahead.
Do you remember what I said?
You said I was a part of it. Like, I should be a guy. Like, I don't know. You said something in terms of that.
In terms of the isolation, I said.
I should be
you said to me, I don't think I should interrupt you during your isolation season, while you're in your isolation. And I said, there's something about you that I feel I can be intentional about.
In my
isolation season.
And like accountability.
You wouldn't be taking anything away from it.
I'd be adding to it.
You'd be adding to it. And when you decided to tell me that, you had your space of it, I said, I would not ever want to get in between, what you got going on. If anything, I'd like to figure out how I can support and encourage it even more. And that led to us meeting a few hours later in the city, and we closed down another restaurant.
Because we talk too much.
No, we got to know each other.
We talk too much.
We got to know each other.
We definitely did.
By the time that day,
my battery, my truck, my car, something.
Like hasn't even happened again, right?
Never. Why, God?
She couldn't get her car, and she looked like a damsel in distress at this point.
Because I was like, wait, I don't know what to do, and I was literally gonna leave it there.
That's what happens when people have expensive things, but. What happens is she didn't know how to use her expensive
things. He's good, all right? He's good.
So I'm low-key dropping her off to her car, being a gentleman. And, this is my exit time. I'm supposed to meet a friend in Brooklyn. And I'm about to tell him the good news. I think I met my wife. I swear,
Really?
Mind you, when you dropped me off, that's what I said.
No way.
I swear, you can ask Mo and my homegirl Brittany.
Okay.
That's who was there. I think I met my wife today. Well, I think I went on a date because I didn't meet you that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I met my wife is what I said. And so like you was stuck in front of the. It was cold too for some reason that day.
And I'm like, God, you would do this right now.
Yeah,
like,
so we outside her car. I'm like, listen.
Now that I look at it, you were literally like my helpmate.
I was like, what's going on here? I think it's your battery in your
And I'm like, well, I'll
key.
Uber home because I'm not dealing with this.
I was like, no, we're not leaving this joint here because this is, this is an expensive
absolutely
car.
not.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try first to open it manually, and for some reason your car.
It's not even funny.
It wasn't working.
Whatever.
It was supposed to work. Every car I've ever dealt with like this it always works.
But
it didn't work for
annoyed.
you.
Anyway.
However, so I'm like, yo, do you? And I asked you this, and something told me to ask, do you possibly have a spare key? And then I remember you telling me your daughter has the same car. So I said, wait, do you have her spare key? She's like, yes, it's in the car. Did you tell me it was in the car?
I think so. I don't know.
No, you had it. No,
I had
you
it.
literally had it. It's usually because it's usually in the car. She had it.
Now
in her
you know
purse.
that it's usually.
This
in
is
the car.
weird.
I didn't even know why it was in my purse.
Guys, because I think
God did this. He's like, dude,
I don't know. You said you had to because you said you had to get another battery for hers. So we pulled out her battery. Thank God the batteries matched, and it was able to start her car and get her going. But this took like 45 minutes because
to an hour.
Because I didn't want to intrude. And also, like, when I think I know something, I got to know it. And I wanted to be comfortable with what I thought I knew.
Oh, God.
So when I figured out what it might have been, I was able to, figure it out. But I wasn't really super confident that it was that, so I didn't take charge yet.
Okay,
I was just chilling.
This is only day 2.
This
seems like
technically day 1.
Oh, yeah, this is day 1. Nah, yeah, no.
If you want to get technical.
No, I don't want to count date 1.
Okay, because I had to clear things up. So, yeah, whatever.
Clear things up.
So after that date, I meet her at her event. Space, which is a ministry, a ministry gathering. It's not like church, but it's like church. It's not like a concert, but it's everything you need with God involvement. It's very good experience.
Yeah, it's like a group.
It's a God experience.
Yeah,
it's a God experience. All right, that's dope.
Okay.
Which I was able to, me and my boy Greg were able to experience, and I was blown away. Because there's a lot like this going on at this point. Like you see a girl you like her, and now you see a girl that's like a leader, a ministry,
praying,
and just like she's dope, but dope on so many levels that a lot of men would be intimidated by. You know what I'm saying? And it encouraged me to go harder and pursue much harder, but not knowing how it would work or what would happen or whether or not I'm valid. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Keep shooting. Every time it go in, I'm gonna grab it, keep shooting, and if it keep going, we'll see if it gets a W. So I end up taking you to. We end up spending some time together right after your event.
Okay.
Which is the next day.
Yeah.
And we go to the gym together, which was.
It was actually set up by.
Body was like, yo, we need to work out. Darnell, listen, you're going to be in, because I don't think I've ever called him Darnell.
Okay, body.
Low-key his fault. I don't think he's ever introduced himself as Darnell.
So anyway, let's go to that.
So
Saturday
Darnell,
Can I tell y'all what I did Saturday morning prior to working out?
Please tell me what you did. You never told me this.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if you told me this.
I did. So I had some residue here that I had to get rid of, and remember I dropped it off.
One of your exes.
Well, it wasn't okay, wow.
Oh, don't do that.
Wait.
Don't lie to the people.
I'm not gonna lie to the people. Okay, so.
You had to end something too way before you met me. It was before you met me.
Yeah, it was before you.
It was way before me.
Literally before you.
But you had to detach yourself.
There was something, it was stuff. And listen, my big sister kept saying, do not, because I was like, well, I could just throw it away, whatever, I don't. But I'm like, no, I'm not that person, and I would like for my stuff to be
was
better
literally
to
right
me.
before we let it.
And the whole way, legit. I left out early so that I can do this. And the whole way to you or to drop this off, I'm like, God, can you just make this smooth for me? Like, I need parking because it's in the city, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, I need parking. I need you to allow me to just drop this, like no interaction, like whatever, because I just whatever. And I did. I legit dropped it off, and then I met you. So I had to clear I had a little something to clear up too.
Yeah. And then that night we went to
Flow
Flow,
night.
which was my first experience.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we had a worship weekend.
Yeah,
I was in it.
I hadn't seen Naomi since we were kids.
Yeah.
And I came to find out, you know Naomi on a personal and business level. And so like that experience was a lot to take in. But I'm like, yo, this girl is really like bringing me back. I used to minister.
Okay.
And that wasn't my, like, that was like my teenage, young days where we would do dance ministry. And that kind of atmosphere just made me feel like it brought me back. And
this is week 1.
yeah, this is week 1.
We got a lot. Like, it's like
Third experience. I wouldn't call that a date because we were with a bunch of people. I met her best friend Shirley. He was with Darnell, and low key they basically was like, "Yo, y'all a couple." At the end of that
they
night.
literally was like annoying.
We went out to
us.
dinner.
Oh my
and
God.
we started talking about.
I'm like what are
defending
they talking
ourselves
about?
as if we was in a relationship,
Right.
and but we kind of felt it though. We felt it. I felt it to the point where the next week is your birthday, right?
Next week's my birthday.
So, at this point, I offered to take her on another date for her birthday.
I was supposed to go away.
And she didn't get to go away
I did
the
not
way
go
she
away.
wanted to go away.
Right. Yes.
It
Because
was
I
supposed to
did
be
go
away,
I
away,
did- yeah, I was
but-
supposed to be away, and the weather was not
Yeah.
permitting that at all
Like,
where I wanted to
life
go.
was lifing for you, and I
Right.
apologize that you had to experience that.
No,
But
it's
I'm
okay.
not sorry because you had to. You met your boyfriend that week.
Yes, I did.
So,
Okay,
first date, I take her.
Well, wait a minute. Right
Okay,
before
my
that,
bad.
wait,
What
there's a
happened?
little piece, okay? Like,
Me not remember.
Yes. So remember you said to me, you asked me about my birthday, whatever, and I'm like, I'm telling you the details, but I'm like, now I'm available. You want to take me out, and I'm like, okay, well, I have Thursday or Friday. You like, can I have both?
Yeah.
You asked me for both days.
Most definitely.
And I said yes, but only if we get to go to the movies one of those days.
Yeah. I was like, you can have one of your dates. I'll take you out.
I just wanted to see.
That was
Creed.
dope. Yeah, it was dope. And we got a good experience. We got
Yeah.
to eat
And we
and watch a
closed
movie.
another
Yeah, we definitely did.
bakery down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then the next day, on like day before your birthday, we go to a restaurant, and I've known her for 2 weeks. Like literally, I've only known, but we talk all the time. Now this is just like leading up to these dates. We've talked all the time. We've probably experienced each other 6 times, right?
Yeah.
5 or 6
5
times.
or 6 times, yeah.
Something led me to say to her, I don't think I said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" I think I said, I don't know, how did it go? Because I
So you
said,
gave me a card and you said you want me to read it. And you said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So you went to the bathroom. And I was like, you know you remember this too. It's so annoying for that. So you went to the bathroom, and before you went to the bathroom, you gave me a kiss on my cheek. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is crazy. Because mind you, I'm in this I'm still, me mentally, it's like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I don't know. I like him. But God, you got to just make this clear to me because I've been down some roads before, right?
you met the right one.
But I did, honey. So, okay, anyway, you gave me the card. I read the card. It was beautiful. And you basically said that, you don't want me to have to think about it. You want to make it official.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to play with this.
Right.
I just want to do this for real. So you my girl now. Got it? Good. And then we closed out the night in another restaurant.
I think we just...
Nah, it never looked like that, but it was smoother than that. It was cuter than that.
It was cute. It was. And
I don't remember exactly how it was said, but I was a G about it. She was definitely with it. So we ended up dating from that point on. She goes away the next day with her best friend, takes a 2-day trip. And her best friend blesses her with something. And I want you to tell this story because I want to see if you remember how this went.
Okay. So, I will say this. We went on this trip, and I'll start with her gifts. Her gifts. She wanted me to open the gifts on our way to. It was like a road trip. We're driving, just having a really good time, and she's like, "I want you to start opening your gifts." I'm like, "Right now?" Like, all right. I'm opening my gifts, and she's like, which is crazy now that I think about it. But she spoke. Shut up. She spoke life into us. Like God told her basically that, you're the one, and that we're going to be one, and we're going to get married. So she gave me something old, something new, something borrowed, and nothing blue. I didn't get the blue yet. The blue is coming. Mm-hmm. I mean, the blue came down the line.
Yeah.
And then something new was, she's like, because we do everything together. She's like, I got this for us. She's like, but, God told me, so I want to be obedient for you and Aaron to do it together.
It was a 40-day.
And it was a 40-day prayer fast.
So you get that.
I get that. And I don't share that with you, though.
You don't share nothing with me. All you do is talk about that you had fun on your trip.
I had fun on my trip. I'm like, the gifts, I don't want to scare this man off yet.
You wasn't telling me that.
Yeah, not yet.
You didn't tell me that until like maybe
down.
a month or two later, something like that.
I'm like, God, I don't want to scare this man off. I just want to really be, strategic in how I do this, because whatever. So fast forward, I come back, but before I get back, you had to do something. What did you have to handle before I got back? You said by the time you get back, it'll be handled. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
It was another lingering situation.
Okay.
But it was a talking situation.
All right.
Yeah, it was
I just wanted to bring that up. So
I took care of all my stuff.
Right, man of God.
Yeah, and I told you I had to take care of stuff.
Yeah, you
too.
did. And you're like, by the time you come home on Sunday, it'll be taken care of.
Yeah,
and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask him about it.
I told you it was taken care of.
Right.
Yeah.
So that Sunday you came to my home, sat outside in the car, because it's not doing that yet.
Nah.
Going in each other places yet, but we sat in my car for like hours.
And right before hours, like it was like 2-3 in the morning, and before we finished the conversation, I'm like, you know what? Because at this point she's my girl, and like I'm in this space where I want to be intentional about how we operate. Now, to be honest, it sounds like I was just trying to appeal to who you are and what you like, but it was God, and I only knew that because when I said, listen, I want to start praying every night before we go to bed, like just lock in that spiritual space together. And she was like, it's funny you say that, because my homegirl, my best friend, gave me a book to do a 40-day prayer fast
with you. And
she said, she said instead of doing it with her, she wanted me to do it with you. I was like, that's crazy. That's mad crazy. Okay, let's do it. And that honestly,
wasn't that the first night you said you loved me?
We're gonna do that because I could swear we went through this before, and now all of a sudden you remember when I said I love you?
I do. I think that was the night before we left.
So when did you say
I love you
when you put your hand on my heart?
Oh wow. That
was date 2 or something like that.
No, that was early. That
was date 1 or date 2. That's what I'm saying.
That was one that we don't count.
That had to be date 2. It wasn't the day you met me. It wasn't the day that your car got the situation.
It was the movies.
It was the movies. The day before I actually be my girl.
Right.
That's what made it clear to me.
Yeah, it was the movies.
So the day before I asked to be my girlfriend,
it was so let me just.
This was in your vows too. Anyway.
Yeah. So listen, we were at the movies and we walked.
Movies were done. We were in the car.
We were in the car
talking.
We were in the car talking, and I don't know. This part was totally led by the Holy Spirit. Like I did not know where that. To this day, I don't know where it came from, but I don't know. I just leaned over and I put my hand on your heart and I said, "I'm going to protect your heart."
Yeah, and that was like mad smooth, mild smooth. She was smooth as heck for that. And because at that point, I'm like, I'm folding. Like, yo, a girl saying that to a man.
So in the world, let me say this. In the world, we are smooth, but in the spiritual, no, I want to get to people some context, like literally what this means. In the world, it does sound like we're smooth because you were smooth too. Throughout this whole relationship, you've been smooth. However, God will give you what you need.
No, facts.
And your partner.
And that was exactly what I needed to hear.
And so,
because I've never heard it before from a woman. And it was like she knew what type of man I was and how I operated. Like, I operate with a lot of fierce aggressiveness. And it's because I'm protecting my heart. So when she did that, I low-key teared up.
Yeah, she did.
And
High-key.
It's super low-key.
High-key.
And
but you did.
That's when I knew, nah, this is the one. But, like, this is the one, and there's a lot of stuff that comes with this being the one.
Yeah.
Because I think date 2 or 3, we decided that, you know, we were in agreement with, you know.
You said you wanted to wait with me.
Yeah, I was like, I got you. I'll wait with you.
You didn't say I got you.
I
don't even try to sound cool for the people. You said I want to wait with you.
I was in agreement with waiting, and I understood what it meant. I didn't know how.
Because I'm like, well, you know what that means, right?
That experience. Well, I mean, of course I knew what it means.
But I
didn't know how it would feel.
Nope.
I didn't know what it would be like.
Because we were
we didn't struggle there. Like fighting about it or emotionally wanting it.
But there were challenges, though.
There were challenges. We liked each other a lot. We're not unattractive people.
But understanding what that meant, like I won't say like in the moment. I'm talking about like the learning at like what that looks like and the intimacy without
I could
sex.
not tell you that I did not know what I was agreeing to entirely when I made that decision.
And then we were like, I'm like, but this is what you said. Like, you
so
know, it was like a lot of learning and unlearning.
The intimacy was good to understand because there was so much more intimacy attached to relationships that I didn't really know about
outside
when you
sex.
take sex out the equation. And so remember, we got a 40-day prayer fast book, right? Which means after those first 6 experiences we had as friends and boyfriend and girlfriend one throughout the weekend that we met each other, by the 7th time we met each other, for 40 days straight, we spent every day with each other. Every single day with each other. Any time we could spend with each other, we spent it.
Yeah.
And we ended the night with each other for 40 days straight for that prayer fast. So our relationship, it was tested in so many areas, and we were also able to learn what intimacy looks like on a lot of different levels, spiritually, emotionally, physically, which was the hardest part because you had to abstain in some spaces but project in others to make sure that the other person was feeling loved and feeling appreciated and feeling attractive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a lot to learn, but I was committed, and I wasn't really like, oh, I gotta do this. It was more like this is what it's supposed to feel like when you love somebody. Yeah. Like, and I said I was gonna try not to say like so daggone much. But you know what's crazy? I've never been in a relationship where intimacy, sex, wasn't how I determined how interested I was gonna be to take it further. And a lot of men operate that way because you don't know what you don't know, and it's not like you wanna lock into something without knowing. So that faith-based decision was in extreme.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that version of our ride because
once you figured it out.
Yeah, well, I didn't figure it out. I figured it out. Every experience that we ended up having, I figured it out, and I was obedient. I wasn't super like that wasn't a large part of our issue. Like that was probably the smoothest part. To like, when I say smooth, I mean like we grew from that, and it was like, okay, we understand, we're good. Our issues were different from that, but that's for like later on in this conversation. Where are we at? So we get this prayer.
So we did it. Yeah, I come back from vacation. Well, I come back from my birthday getaway, and now I introduce you to the 40-day fast. We start the 40-day fast. You also tell me you love me. I say I love you too.
Yeah, going right.
I love everybody. That's I can't, baby. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
Not everybody gets to. Anyway, keep going.
So, so that was it. So now we're in the 40-day fast. We're learning each other. We're learning like the kinks and the dislikes and the just finding the flow in our relationship. Because this is not this is a new territory for both of us. We've never walked through a what looks healthy for us relationship. So it was like that unlearning situations and unlearning behaviors that we had to walk through.
Yeah. A lot.
Oh my gosh. You guys don't even understand. But we're here now.
Yeah.
And
we're here now, yes. That's like no, first of all, no, we're here now. Like there was so much that happened in between that.
Okay, so the 40-day fast led up to me having to work.
Yes.
Out of town for a long time.
And that we will talk about in part 2 of this piece of Quianna and Aaron.
Yeah.
Eason.
Hi, husband.
Hi, wife. You sexy thing, you.